Welcome, dear listener. If you find yourself enjoying this journey into the quiet corners of history, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Remember to turn on loop so our exploration can continue softly in the background. Hey! As you settle in, let the dim lights cast a soothing glow around you. Take a moment to adjust your pillows and blankets, allowing your body to sink comfortably into the softness. Breathe slowly and gently. Inhale and exhale, letting the day's cares drift away. Today, we will embark on a rather specialized and meticulously detailed exploration of an often overlooked subject, the protocols of shoe shining for medieval squires. While the topic may initially appear mundane, the rituals and routines surrounding the polishing of footwear reveal much about the daily lives of these young men. Little by little, we will delve into the specific practices of boot buffing, examining the materials used, the tools required, and the subtle nuances of technique. The time spent on ensuring one's shoes were polished to a shine was not merely an act of vanity. It was a reflection of discipline, respect, and the expectations placed upon a squire. We will explore the types of leather commonly used, the varied shades of polish, and the precise movements required to achieve a mirror-like finish. With each detail, we will uncover the quiet dignity of those who devoted their time to this often uncelebrated task. As we follow the journey of the squire through his daily routines, you will find yourself lulled by the rhythm of the soft cloth against leather, the slow application of wax, and the careful, methodical buffing that follows. Hey! Woody! So, let us immerse ourselves in this gentle narrative. Allow your breath to slow. Breathe deeply and softly. Feel your shoulders relax as we begin to uncover the exhaustively boring yet fascinating history of medieval squire shoe shining protocols. And so we begin. As we embark on this exploration of medieval squire shoe shining protocols, we must first consider the essential tools and materials that were integral to this meticulous process. The squire, often a young man training for knighthood, would have his own set of implements, each carefully chosen to fulfill a specific purpose. The primary tool used in the art of shoe shining was the humble cloth. These cloths, often made of soft cotton or linen, were chosen for their gentle touch. They needed to be clean, free of any rough textures that might scratch the leather. The cloth would be cut into manageable squares, typically measuring around 6 by 6 inches, making it easy for the squire to hold and maneuver as he worked. Alongside the cloth, the squire would require various polishes, each with its own unique properties. The most common type was a wax polish, often made from a blend of natural waxes and dyes. These polishes came in small tins, usually holding about 4 ounces. The price of a tin could vary, but it was generally affordable, costing around a few pennies, making it accessible to young squires eager to maintain their appearance. As the squire prepared for his day, he would store his polishing materials in a wooden box, carefully crafted to protect the items within. This box, often adorned with simple carvings, would be kept near his quarters, ensuring easy access. Each piece of equipment had its designated space, fostering an environment of order and discipline. Once the squire was ready to shine his shoes, the process began with a thorough inspection of the footwear. He would take a moment to examine the leather carefully, noting any scuffs or marks that might require additional attention. With a gentle hand, he would brush away any dust or dirt that had accumulated. This initial step was crucial, as a clean surface ensures that the polish adheres properly, allowing for a smoother finish. Now, with the shoes prepared, the squire would select his polish, choosing a shade that best matched the hue of the leather. Dark brown, light brown, and black were the most common colors, each serving its purpose. The squire would then open the tin, taking a moment to appreciate the smooth texture of the wax. It was a familiar ritual, one that provided a sense of calm and focus. The Ironaise. With his cloth in one hand and the polish in the other, the squire would take a small amount of wax, roughly the size of a large marble. Slowly, he would spread the polish onto the leather using gentle circular motions. These movements were deliberate and rhythmic, almost meditative. He would work the wax into the leather, ensuring even coverage while also paying special attention to the seams and edges, where wear and tear were most prevalent. After applying the polish, the next step was to let it sit for a moment, allowing the wax to penetrate the leather. This brief pause was an opportunity for reflection, a time to breathe deeply and let the day's worries drift away. Little by little, the squire would prepare for the final stages of the polishing process. Once the polish had set, he would take a second clean cloth, also soft, and begin the buffing. This step was essential for achieving that desired mirror-like shine. With gentle pressure, he would work the cloth over the leather, moving in smooth, linear strokes. The rhythm of the buffing was soothing, a repetition that encouraged tranquility. The squire understood that the length of time spent buffing was essential. Typically, he would spend anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes on each shoe, depending on the level of shine required. As he worked, he would take care to rotate the cloth frequently, exposing fresh fabric to the shoe surface. This ensured that he was always working with a clean section, promoting an even shine. In between buffing sessions, it was customary for the squire to take small breaks, allowing his hands to rest and absorb the soothing motions of the day. During these intervals, he might take a sip of water or gaze out of the window, appreciating the scenery that surrounded his quarters. These moments of stillness were just as important as the polishing itself, contributing to a sense of balance in the squire's routine. Once both shoes had been polished and buffed, the squire would step back to admire his handiwork. The reflective surface of the leather would glisten softly in the light, a testament to the time and care he had invested. He knew that a well-polished shoe was not just a reflection of his appearance, it was a symbol of his dedication and readiness for the responsibilities of knighthood. As he concluded his shoe-shining ritual, the squire would carefully store his tools away, returning the cloths and polish to their designated places within the wooden box. This final step was as significant as the polishing itself, reinforcing the values of respect and order. In the days of medieval life, the act of shoe shining was not merely a chore. It was an ingrained part of a squire's daily schedule. Each morning, after rising with the sun, the squire would dedicate time to this ritual before attending to his training. It was a time for reflection, a moment to gather strength and prepare mentally for the challenges ahead. Anechani. Nenisiru. Waro. While it may seem trivial to modern eyes, the significance of this practice cannot be overstated. The act of polishing shoes served as a reminder of the importance of discipline, attention to detail, and respect for one's self and one's gear. Little by little, the squire built not only a polished shoe, but a foundation for the virtues he would carry into his future endeavors. As we continue to explore the world of Squire shoe shining protocols, let us take a moment to appreciate the subtleties of this age-old practice. The gentle motions, the rhythmic application of polish, and the serene satisfaction of a job well done all played a role in the quiet legacy of these unsung heroes of boot buffing. So, take a deep breath and settle into your comfort. Imagine the smooth cloth gliding against the leather, the soft scent of polish filling the air, and the calming certainty that comes from a routine well practiced. Let this gentle rhythm lull you into a state of relaxation as we delve deeper into this exquisitely mundane journey. And so, we continue. As we drift deeper into the world of medieval Squire shoe shining protocols, let us examine the tools that were essential for this meticulous craft. The Squire, embarking on this daily ritual, would gather his implements with care and precision. The most important of these was the shoe polish itself, often made from a blend of beeswax, tallow, and natural dyes. This mixture created a rich, nourishing balm for the leather, enhancing its color and providing a protective layer against the elements. Now, the Squire would select a small tin for storing the polish, often no more than 3 inches in diameter. This tin, usually crafted from lightweight metal, would be carefully sealed to protect its contents from drying out. The polish was generally affordable, costing a mere few pence, a small but significant investment for a young man eager to maintain his appearance. Next, the Squire would need a soft cloth, often made from fine linen or cotton. This cloth, measuring perhaps a foot square, would be folded neatly into quarters. With gentle hands, he would rub the polish onto the leather, ensuring an even application across the surface. The cloth would absorb the polish slowly and gently, becoming a crucial tool in the polishing process. To achieve the desired sheen, a second cloth would be required, slightly larger and softer. This cloth was typically used for buffing, creating a smooth, glossy finish that reflected the effort put into the task. The Squire would hold it with both hands, applying light pressure as he moved in circular motions. The rhythm of this action was soothing, a gentle, repeated motion that echoed the tranquility of the task at hand. As he worked, the Squire would often take a moment to examine his footwear. A sturdy pair of boots or shoes, typically made of thick leather, would be carefully inspected. The soles might show signs of wear, but the upper leather should remain clean and polished. This attention to detail was not just a matter of aesthetics. It was a form of respect for the equipment that served him daily. The process of polishing shoes typically took about 20 to 30 minutes, a time when the world outside faded into silence. The Squire would often lose himself in thought, considering the day ahead or reflecting on the lessons learned from yesterday. Little by little, the act of polishing became a meditation, a way to center oneself before facing the rigors of the day. In terms of scheduling, this ritual would often occur in the early morning, just after rising and before breakfast. This timing allowed the Squire to prepare himself for the responsibilities that lay ahead, ensuring that he was presentable and confident. The sun would rise slowly, casting a soft glow on the polished boots, emphasizing the effort invested into the routine. Once polished, the shoes would be placed in a designated area, often a small wooden shelf or a sturdy trunk. This space was reserved for the footwear, ensuring that it remained safe and clean. The Squire would take care to arrange the shoes neatly, side by side, allowing the leather to breathe. A gentle tap of the foot would send a soft echo through the room, reminding him of the importance of order and discipline. As we explore these details, let us pause for a moment and breathe deeply. Feel the stillness surrounding you, like the quiet of a medieval morning. Visualize the squire preparing his tools, the careful selection of polish and cloth. Imagine each step unfolding slowly, one after another, like a serene dance. Ah. Ellie. The etiquette surrounding shoe shining was also quite important in medieval society. A squire would often take great care to ensure that his shoes were polished before attending any gathering or event. This was not merely a personal preference, it was an unspoken rule of decorum. A well-polished shoe signified readiness and respect for those one encountered. On certain occasions, the squire might invite a fellow squire to join him in this ritual. Sharing the experience created a bond, a camaraderie that was nurtured through the simple act of polishing shoes together. They would exchange tips on technique, perhaps discussing the best angles for achieving the perfect shine. This social interaction was soothing, allowing the young men to connect while engaged in a task that required focus and attention. The act of polishing was also accompanied by certain ceremonial aspects. For example, a squire might take a moment to offer a small prayer or reflection as he began his routine. This act of mindfulness, imbued with intention, not only served to center his thoughts, but also reinforce the values of discipline and perseverance that were paramount in the life of a squire. As the day progressed, the freshly polished shoes would serve as a reminder of the effort dedicated to self-presentation. The squire would walk confidently, each step resonating with the knowledge that he had taken the time to care for his appearance. Little by little, day by day, this attention to detail would become second nature, a core part of his identity. The polishing process itself followed a specific sequence. First, the squire would apply a thin layer of polish, ensuring that each part of the shoe was covered. This initial application would take care to reach all the crevices, allowing the polish to penetrate the leather fully. After a gentle, thorough coating, he would pause, letting the polish sit for a moment. Next, he would begin the buffing process, using the second cloth to create a shine. This step required patience, as the motion must remain steady and measured. The squire would often close his eyes, focusing solely on the sensation of the cloth against the leather, the sound of the rubbing filling the space around him. It was a serene experience, one that brought a sense of calm to his mind. Once the buffing was complete, he would inspect his work closely, checking for any spots that might require further attention. This final assessment was crucial, for a truly polished shoe was a reflection of the squire's character. It demonstrated his commitment to excellence and his readiness to serve. As we continue to explore this gentle rhythm of shoe shining, let us take a moment to breathe deeply. Feel the weight of the day lift as the act of polishing shoes draws you into a world of calm and focus. Picture the soft glow of the leather, the subtle shine reflecting the light, a testament to the hours of care and dedication that have gone into this simple yet profound task. And so, we move forward, deeper into the quiet legacy of Squire shoe shining protocols. Each detail reveals more about the lives of these young men, their values, and their ambitions. Little by little, we uncover the layers of history woven into the fabric of their daily routines. As the sun sets on this tranquil world, let us embrace the soothing cadence of their lives, one polished shoe at a time. And in the quiet hours of the day, as the sun begins its gentle descent, the squire prepares his tools for the meticulous task ahead. Each item has its place, each tool is essential. He gathers his supplies with care, taking a moment to appreciate the craftsmanship of each instrument. The brushes, the claws, the polish, all hold a certain significance in this routine. Mandi, Jomala, Inke, Imni. The first tool, a wooden shine brush, is often made from fine horsehair. Its soft bristles allow for a gentle touch, ensuring that the leather retains its integrity while being polished. The squire holds this brush with a sense of reverence, aware that its purpose is to elevate the ordinary to the extraordinary. The brush measures about 6 inches in length. It fits comfortably in the palm of his hand, allowing for a fluid motion as he applies the polish. Next comes the polish itself, a substance that has been carefully chosen. Traditionally, this polish is made from a blend of natural waxes and oils. The colors are varied, ranging from deep black to rich brown, and even a soft tan. Each color corresponds to the hue of the leather, and the squire must choose wisely. A good polish can cost a few pence, but it is an investment in both appearance and durability. He opens the tin with a soft pop, releasing a faint, sweet scent that fills the air around him. Taking a small amount of the polish, he places it onto the shine brush. The squire knows the importance of moderation. Too much polish can lead to a sticky mess, while too little will yield lackluster results. So, he adds just enough, ensuring that the bristles are coated, yet not overloaded. With each brushstroke, he applies the polish in a circular motion, moving from the toe to the heel. This method is deliberate, slow, and steady. Each pass is like a gentle caress, and he can feel the leather begin to absorb the polish. It is a rhythmic process, one that invites tranquility into the moment. Little by little, he can see the surface start to shimmer, as if awakening from a long slumber. After the initial application, he allows a brief moment for the polish to settle. During this time, he takes a deep breath, inhaling the comforting scent of the wax. In this pause, he reflects on the significance of his task. Polished shoes are not merely an aesthetic choice. They symbolize respect for oneself and for those one serves. Once the polish has been absorbed, he reaches for a clean, soft cloth. This cloth, often made from cotton or linen, is used for the final buffing. It is approximately 12 inches square, perfectly sized for comfortable handling. The squire folds the cloth into quarters, creating a soft pad that fits snugly in his palm. Easy way. With a gentle motion, he begins to buff the shoe, moving back and forth, and then in small circular patterns. The cloth glides over the leather, and with each stroke, the shine intensifies. The squire feels a sense of satisfaction as he sees the reflection of his own face begin to appear in the polished surface. This moment of clarity, this moment of focus, brings a sense of calm to the evening. Iawo, and Ketchimchi, Mano, Shi, Io. This buffing process can take several minutes, depending on the condition of the leather. If the shoes have been worn extensively, he may need to repeat this process multiple times. He understands that patience is key. Good things come to those who wait, and the journey to a perfect shine is no different. After achieving the desired shine, the squire inspects the shoes closely. He looks for any areas that may need further attention. The inspection process is meticulous, requiring a keen eye. He examines the toe cap, the sides, and the heel. Each part tells a story, and he feels a connection to the craftsmanship of the shoe itself. To him, it is not just an object, but a vessel of history and purpose. The next step involves a careful storage routine. Once the shoes are polished to perfection, the squire knows they must be stored correctly to maintain their condition. He selects a sturdy wooden shoe tree, crafted to fit the contours of the shoe. This tool is important, for it helps to preserve the shape and structure of the leather. He gently inserts the shoe tree into each shoe, ensuring a snug fit. This step not only helps to maintain the shape, but also allows for air circulation, preventing moisture buildup. The squire understands that dampness can lead to deterioration, and so he takes this precaution seriously. But why? With the shoes safely secured and stored, he cleanses tools. The shine brush is carefully washed with warm water and mild soap, then left to dry naturally. The cloth is also washed, ensuring it remains free of excess polish for the next use. This ritual of cleaning is essential. It reflects the squire's commitment to care, not only for his shoes, but also for the tools that assist him. As night falls and the world around him quiets, the squire feels a sense of accomplishment. The polished shoes stand as a testament to his effort and dedication. He knows that tomorrow, he will wear these shoes as he fulfills his duties. The shine will serve as a reminder of his attention to detail, his respect for tradition, and his readiness to face the day ahead. In these moments of reflection, he takes a slow, deep breath, allowing the calm of the evening to envelop him. He settles back, feeling the weight of the day lift, as the soft glow of the polished leather brings him peace. Each element of this process, from the choice of polish to the final inspection, weaves together a tapestry of history and routine. As we immerse ourselves in this gentle exploration, let us remember the importance of the mundane. Each act of polishing, each stroke of the brush, serves a purpose far beyond mere aesthetics. Little by little, we come to understand the values of diligence, respect, and care that defined the lives of those in the past. And so, we continue our journey through the world of Squire Shoe's shining protocols, uncovering the quiet legacies that linger in the strokes of a brush and the shine of a shoe. The rhythm of this routine lulls us into a state of tranquility. No. Wait. As the evening settles gently into twilight, we turn our attention to the collection of tools that a squire might assemble for the delicate art of shoe shining. Within the confines of a humble wooden chest, an assortment of brushes, cloths, and polishes await their moment to shine. Each item, with its own purpose, plays a role in the meticulous ritual that is a daily necessity. The brushes, typically made of soft horsehair, possess a gentle touch, perfect for coaxing the luster from the leather. These brushes vary in size, with larger ones dedicated to the broad surfaces of the shoe, while smaller, more refined ones navigate the crevices and contours. A set might include 3 or 4 brushes, each carefully stored in a designated slot within the chest, ensuring their longevity and readiness for use. Next, we encounter the polish itself. Often derived from a mixture of tallow, beeswax, and various natural dyes. This substance serves not only to protect the leather, but to enhance its natural beauty. The squire might possess a handful of small tins, each containing a different shade of polish, chosen with care to match the color of the footwear. The price of a tin could range from a simple penny to a few pence, depending on the quality and the source. As the squire opens a tin, the rich, creamy polish reveals itself, inviting a thoughtful application. He carefully dips his brush into the polish, ensuring just the right amount clings to the bristles. It is a delicate balance. Too much and the polish may smudge too little, and the shoe may not receive the nourishment it requires. In preparation for the shining process, the squire follows a set routine. First, he gently brushes away any dust or dirt that has settled on the shoes during the day. He understands that this first step is crucial, for any debris left on the surface may scratch the leather as he polishes. The brushing is done slowly, methodically, with each stroke sweeping away the remnants of the day. Once the surface is clean, the squire applies the polish with small circular motions, allowing the leather to absorb the nourishing ingredients. Each movement is deliberate and unhurried, as he knows that patience is key. He takes his time, ensuring that every corner and seam receives attention. The rhythmic motion becomes almost meditative, a repetition of care that echoes through the quiet of the evening. After applying the polish, he allows the shoes to rest for a brief moment. This pause is essential, as it permits the leather to absorb the polish fully. During this time, he might prepare a second brush, one that is dedicated solely to buffing. This brush, stiffer than the first, will soon take center stage, transforming the matte polish into a gleaming surface. The buffing process begins with a light touch, as the squire gently glides the stiff brush over the shoe's surface. He finds joy in the gradual transformation, the way the leather begins to catch the light, reflecting a soft glow. Each stroke is performed with care, and he is mindful of his technique. He knows that a well-buffed shoe can make a significant impression in the courtly circles he aspires to navigate. As the buffing continues, he may switch to a soft cloth, using it to give the shoes a final polish. This cloth, kept separate from the brushes, is clean and free of any remnants of polish. It is the last step, and it requires a gentle hand. The squire wraps the cloth around his fingers and rubs the leather in smooth, sweeping motions. Slowly and gently, he brings the shine to life. In his mind, the squire recalls the etiquette surrounding shoe care. To present oneself in polished shoes is a sign of respect, respect for oneself and for others. It is a silent declaration of one's status and attention to detail. He understands that the upkeep of his footwear reflects not only on him, but on his master as well. As the evening deepens, he might take a moment to reflect on the storage of his tools. Each item has its own designated space, ensuring that they are kept in pristine condition. The wooden chest, lined with soft fabric to prevent scratches, is a sanctuary for these tools. The squire knows that the environment in which they are stored is just as important as the care he provides during the shining process. He takes a moment to admire the fruits of his labor. The shoes stand polished and proud, their surfaces gleaming softly in the dim light. He understands that this ritual, while seemingly mundane, connects him to a long lineage of squires and knights who have walked before him. Each shine tells a story, a quiet testament to the dignity of the everyday. Tintua, Awan with Fauzi, and see, nice. As he prepares to put the shoes away, he considers the schedule of shoe care in his life. Each day begins anew, and the shoes, once polished, will face the world again, gathering dust and dirt. He knows that tomorrow, the process will begin again. The routine provides comfort, a rhythm that soothes the mind and body. He allows himself to sink deeper into this moment, enveloped by the calm of the evening. The tools lie ready, and the shoes stand as a testament to his efforts. He's at peace with the knowledge that each stroke of the brush and each application of polish is not merely a task, but a ritual that connects him to the past. As he closes the chest, He remembers that the art of shoe shining is more than just the act itself. It is about honoring tradition, cherishing the details, and understanding the significance of the mundane. Little by little, he drifts into a state of relaxation, his mind quieting with each thought of care and respect. And so, the world of Squire shoe shining protocols unfolds before us, an intricate tapestry of routine and reverence for the smallest of tasks. Each brushstroke, each moment of reflection, lulls us into a gentle slumber, inviting us to embrace the tranquility that lies in the ordinary. Whoa, the world of medieval Squire shoe shining protocols is filled with gentle intricacies. A world where each detail matters, where each moment spent polishing a shoe is a step into a tradition that has long been embraced. Imagine the tools meticulously laid out, each one playing its role in the symphony of footwear maintenance. There is, first and foremost, the brush, a simple yet essential instrument. It is often made from soft horsehair, carefully selected for its ability to provide a gentle touch. The bristles are arranged in a way that allows for even application of polish. Each stroke of the brush is deliberate, measured, as the squire works to remove any dirt or dust that may have accumulated on the leather surface. The brush, with its soft bristles, whispers against the leather, creating a soothing rhythm that calms the mind. Next comes the polish itself, a rich blend of wax and oils, often scented with the subtle essence of beeswax or tallow. The squire would take great care in selecting his polish, perhaps paying as much as 4 pence for a small tin. This tin, no larger than a hand, holds within it the promise of a gleaming finish. He knows that a well-polished shoe not only protects the leather, but also speaks volumes about the wearer. A small wooden applicator, often referred to as a dauber, is used to transfer the polish from the tin to the shoe. The dauber is crafted from a smooth piece of wood, shaped into a small rounded handle with a soft cotton tip. The cotton tip gently absorbs the polish, allowing for an even application. With each dab of the dauber, the squire takes a moment to breathe, inhaling the comforting aroma of the polish. As he applies the polish, he follows a precise routine. Starting at the toe, he moves in circular motions, slowly working his way around the shoe. Each stroke is intentional, each circle overlapping slightly with the last. The rhythm is calming, almost meditative. He repeats this process for several minutes, ensuring that every inch of leather is covered. Once the polish has been applied, it is time to buff the shoe. The squire reaches for a clean, soft cloth. This cloth, perhaps an old linen or a piece of cotton, has been reserved for this very purpose. He holds the cloth in his hand, feeling its texture against his skin. Gently, he begins to rub the cloth against the polished surface, creating a sheen that glimmers in the light. The movement is slow and deliberate, a gentle caress that brings the shoe to life. The process of buffing requires patience and care. Each shoe may take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to achieve that perfect shine. The squire knows that rushing this step will not yield the desired results. Slowly and gently, he works, allowing the friction between the cloth and the leather to enhance the luster. As he continues, he takes time to reflect on the significance of his task. This is more than just a duty. It is a form of respect. Respect for the shoes that protect his feet. Respect for the craftsmanship that went into creating them. And respect for the tradition that has been passed down through generations. In a quiet corner of the chamber, there is a small wooden chest. Within this chest, The squire carefully stores his tools. The chest is lined with soft fabric, ensuring that the brushes and cloths remain free from dust. He places the polish neatly beside the brushes, in a designated spot that he has arranged with care. Each item has its place, and each place holds a purpose. The chest itself has an air of reverence, a guardian of the tools that serve such an important role. The squire knows that maintaining this organization contributes to the efficiency of his routine. Every evening, as the sun dips below the horizon, he will return to this chest, ready to prepare for another day. Before retiring the tools, he takes a moment to examine his work. The shoes sit proudly, their surfaces glistening softly in the dim light. He runs his fingers along the smooth leather, feeling the texture and the warmth that comes from the polish. It is a simple act, yet it brings a sense of fulfillment and tranquility. This is the life of a medieval squire, where every routine is a dance of care and attention. There is a schedule to follow, a rhythm that guides the day. Each morning, the squire rises with the sun, greeting the day with a sense of purpose. He knows that the shoes must be ready for the duties that lie ahead. Typically, this routine begins shortly after breakfast. A simple meal consisting of bread and cheese, and perhaps a modest cup of ale or water. Following this meal, the squire gathers his tools and prepares for the task at hand. The act of shoe shining is often done in the early morning light, where the rays filter through the window, illuminating the workspace. The squire enjoys this quiet time, where the world outside remains still, and the only sounds are the gentle strokes of the brush against leather and the soft rustling of cloth. He knows that once the shoes are polished, they must be left to rest for a time. This resting period allows the polish to settle, to bond with the leather and create that sought-after shine. After polishing, the shoes are placed on a soft surface, away from dust and dirt, allowing them to await their next adventure. As the day unfolds, the squire may find himself attending to other duties. Yet, the ritual of shoe shining remains a cherished part of his routine. In the evening, as twilight descends, he will revisit the chest, preparing once more for the next day. Each evening, he will inspect the shoes, ensuring that they are in prime condition. If they require further attention, he will engage in the process once again. The cycle continues, ever so gently, with each day blending softly into the next. He understands that this task, though seemingly mundane, is vital to his role. The shoes are not just accessories, they are a reflection of his dedication and his respect for tradition. Each shine is a small act of devotion, a reminder of the connection to those who came before him, those who also engaged in this labor of love. And so, the world of Squire Shoe shining protocols unfolds before us, revealing the beauty in the details, the richness in the routine. Little by little, we find ourselves lulled by the rhythm of the brush, the soft caress of polish, and the gentle shine that emerges, inviting us to embrace the tranquility found in the order. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, casting a gentle glow upon the earth, the squire settles into a comforting rhythm, preparing to engage once more with the cherished art of shoe shining. Each item he requires is carefully selected, reflecting the repetitive nature of his evening ritual. He begins with the polishing cloth, a soft, luxurious piece of fabric, often crafted from the finest cotton or linen. It measures approximately 12 inches by 12 inches, the perfect size for his small hand. The cloth is kept in a dedicated drawer, resting alongside the other tools of his trade, each item nestled comfortably in its own designated space. Next, he reaches for his tin of shoe polish. The polish, made from a mixture of beeswax, turpentine, and various oils, is essential for achieving that desired gleam. The tin itself is modest, about 3 inches in diameter, and holds just enough polish for many applications. The squire knows that the color of the polish must match the hue of the shoe, ensuring that the luster complements the leather rather than detracts from it. Slowly, he opens the tin, breathing in the rich scent of the polish, a combination of earthy and sweet notes. This scent is almost comforting, a reminder of the many evenings spent in this very practice. As he gathers the polish with his cloth, he takes care to apply just the right amount. Too much, and the shoe will appear overly glossy. Too little, and the desired luster will be lost. Unmahend. He has learned to master the ratio, using no more than a nickel-sized amount for each shoe, which allows for even distribution without overwhelming the leather. The application begins at the toe of the shoe, moving in gentle, circular motions. He finds that this technique allows the polish to seep into the leather, nourishing it while simultaneously creating a protective layer. No, nate. As he moves through the routine, he maintains a steady rhythm, repeating the circular motion, slowly and gently. The process takes approximately 5 minutes per shoe, allowing him to engage fully with the task at hand. Once the polish has been applied, he pauses briefly to inspect his work. The shoes, now adorned with a fresh layer of polish, glimmer softly in the dim light. He takes a moment to appreciate the transformation that has taken place. The once dull leather, now imbued with a sense of vitality and care. He then reaches for another tool, the horsehair brush. This brush, with bristles measuring about 2 inches in length, is firm yet gentle, perfectly suited for the next step in the shining protocol. With a few swift strokes, he brushes the shoe, removing any excess polish. The sound of bristles against leather is a soothing one, a reminder of the delicate balance between effort and reward. He takes his time, ensuring that each stroke is deliberate, each movement intentional. The horsehair brush brings a soft sheen to the shoe, enhancing the luster achieved through the initial polish application. After the brushing is complete, he sets the brush aside and takes a moment to reflect. This moment of quiet contemplation is essential, allowing him to connect with the history of this practice. He thinks of the generations of squires before him, each of them engaging in this humble yet significant ritual. The squire then retrieves a second polishing cloth, slightly larger than the first, to perform the finishing touch. This cloth, worn and soft from years of use, has become an extension of his hands. He wraps it around his fingers, preparing to give the shoes a final buff. With gentle pressure, he moves the cloth across the leather, again in circular motions. This final step is where the shoes truly come to life, as the friction generates warmth and shines the leather to its fullest potential. Each pass of the cloth reveals a deeper richness in the color, enhancing the overall appearance. This buffing process takes about 3 minutes per shoe, and as he works, he finds himself in a tranquil state, the world around him fading away. Little by little, he loses himself in the rhythm, the soothing motions guiding his thoughts into a comfortable stillness. Once both shoes are polished and buffed, he examines them closely. The results are rewarding. The shoes reflect a dedication to detail and a commitment to the craft. They are not merely footwear. They are a representation of his identity, his honor as a squire. Oh, To maintain this polished state, he makes it a point to store the shoes properly. They are placed on a wooden shoe rack, crafted from oak, ensuring that they are kept off the ground and away from dust. Each shoe is positioned carefully, the toe of one shoe facing the heel of the other, allowing the leather to breathe and maintain its form. The Squire has learned to respect the delicate balance of humidity and dryness, ensuring that the shoes remain in optimal condition. He often places a small sachet of cedar wood within the shoes, as this helps to absorb excess moisture and ward off any unpleasant odors. As he finishes his evening routine, he reflects on the entire process, from the initial selection of tools to the final inspection of his polished work. Each step is purposeful, each movement a dance of care and respect. The act of shoe shining transcends mere upkeep. It becomes a meditative practice, a means of grounding himself in the traditions of his role. He understands that this meticulous attention to detail is a reflection of his character. The shoes may seem like a small aspect of his life, yet they represent the larger tapestry of duty and honor that surrounds him. And so, as he prepares to conclude his evening, he feels a deep sense of satisfaction. The shoes stand ready, polished and shining, awaiting the adventures that tomorrow will bring. With each passing day, the ritual continues, a cycle of care and dedication, echoing through time, binding him to the legacy of those who came before. Now, in this world of leather and polish, the Squire finds comfort and tranquility, a gentle reminder of the beauty that lies in the ordinary and the power of routine. Little by little, as he settles back into the stillness of the evening, he allows himself to drift into a peaceful slumber, embraced by the knowledge that tomorrow brings yet another opportunity to engage in this cherished tradition. As the soft light of dusk settles over the Squire's chamber, he begins to gather the tools necessary for his evening ritual. The wooden box, polished and well-worn, holds an assortment of items. A soft cloth, a small brush, and a tin of polish, all neatly arranged and waiting for his careful hands. He knows that each item plays a crucial role in the process ahead. The cloth is made of fine cotton, soft to the touch, yet sturdy enough to withstand the task. He unfolds it gently, savoring the texture, and places it on a flat surface. The brush, bristled and firm, is crafted from the hair of a horse, its handle smooth and fitting comfortably in his palm. He takes a moment to appreciate its simplicity, its utility, and the history it carries from generations of craftsmen. Next, he opens the tin of polish, the rich scent of beeswax and oils wafting gently into the air. This polish, a deep chestnut color, has been carefully chosen to match the hue of his footwear. Each tin costs no more than a few coins, yet each application brings forth a luster that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. He places the tin beside the cloth, its contents glimmering softly under the flickering candlelight. With everything in place, he retrieves the first of the shoes, a well-loved leather boot, showing signs of wear from countless adventures. He sets it before him, taking a moment to admire its form. The leather, supple yet resilient, has absorbed the stories of the land, the mud, and the journeys taken. He takes a breath, inhaling the earthy scent of well-worn leather. The first step is to remove any dirt or debris. Using the small brush, he gently sweeps over the surface, working in circular motions, allowing the bristles to lift away the remnants of the day. The sound is soothing, a soft whisper against the leather. He focuses on the task, feeling the rhythm of the brush against the shoe, until, little by little, it is clean and ready for the next phase. Next, he dips the cloth into the tin of polish, taking care to gather just the right amount. Not too much, for excess can make the surface greasy, but enough to cover the shoe evenly. He works the polish into the leather with gentle strokes, first in small circles, then long, sweeping motions. The polish glides across the surface, nourishing the leather, restoring its vitality. He appreciates the way the shoe responds, absorbing the polish, becoming richer in color with each stroke. There is a meditative quality to this process, a sense of peace that envelops him as he moves from one shoe to the next. Each application is deliberate, calculated, as he allows the polish to penetrate the fibers, rejuvenating the material. After a few moments, he pauses to reflect on the time spent on this task. It takes about 15 minutes per shoe, a small investment for the results they yield. A good pair of boots can last for years, their lifespan greatly extended through such careful attention. The cost of a new pair can be quite high, often several silver coins, making this routine not just a matter of aesthetics, but of practicality. As he continues, he occasionally wipes his brow, feeling the gentle warmth of the candlelight. The room is filled with a soft glow, casting flickering shadows that dance along the walls. He takes a moment to breathe deeply, inhaling the scent of polish mixed with the leather, and exhaling slowly, allowing any lingering tension to dissipate. Once the polish has been applied, he sets the shoe aside to allow it to dry. He picks up the brush once more, this time to give the shoe a final buff. With quick, deft strokes, he brings out the shine, revealing a mirror-like finish that reflects the soft light around him. He enjoys this part, the culmination of his efforts, the moment when the shoe transforms into a gleaming symbol of care and attention. He repeats this entire process for the second shoe, moving with the same quiet diligence, the same steady rhythm. The brush glides, the polish coats, and the shine emerges, each step an echo of the last. The room remains serene, the only sounds being the soft swish of the brush, the gentle scraping of the cloth, and the occasional crackle of the fire in the hearth. I'll lean around and see. As he completes the second shoe, he finds himself reflecting on the significance of this routine. It is a ritual passed down through generations, a tradition steeped in honor and duty. Each squire before him has engaged in this same practice, connecting him to a lineage of those who understood the value of presentation and respect. He considers the schedule that governs his days. Mornings are filled with training, the clatter of swords and the sound of hooves echoing in the courtyard. Afternoons are for duties, caring for the horses and assisting his knight. But the evenings are reserved for this quiet task, a moment to pause, to reflect, and to prepare. With the shoes now finished, he leans back in his chair, taking a moment to appreciate the fruits of his labor. The polished boots stand proudly before him, a testament to his dedication. He thinks of the etiquette involved in presenting oneself in society. A well-polished shoe is a mark of respect, a silent acknowledgement of the importance of one's appearance. He recalls the various occasions that call for such diligence. A feast at the castle, a visit to the lord, or the sight of a lady. Each moment requires a level of decorum, and the shining of shoes is but one small aspect of a larger expectation. The squire understands that these rituals, while seemingly mundane, contribute to the fabric of his life, weaving together duty, honor, and tradition. He pauses to reflect, to breathe. Slowly and gently, He finds joy in the simplicity of it all. The act of shining shoes is an exercise in patience, a moment to breathe deeply, to settle into the rhythm of life. As he prepares to store his tools away, he carefully wipes the brush free of polish, ensuring it remains in good condition for future use. He knows that maintaining these tools is just as important as the act of shining itself. The brush and cloth are placed back into the wooden box, each item returning to its place, ready to serve him once more. The tin of polish is closed tightly, sealing in the rich scent, the history of care that it holds. He knows that in the days to come, he will once again perform this ritual, once again find solace in the act of polishing his footwear. He feels a deep sense of gratitude for this practice, a reminder that even in the simplest tasks, one can find purpose and peace. And so, he rises from his chair, his heart light with the satisfaction of a job well done. The shoes stand proudly, a reflection of his commitment and care. Little by little, he allows the tranquility of the evening to envelop him, guiding him toward restful thoughts, serene dreams, and the promise of tomorrow's duties. This is the rhythm of his life, a gentle cycle of care and reflection, ever unfolding in the quiet chambers of his world. As evening falls, the squire turns his attention to the task of storing his shining tools. He takes a moment to admire the polished shoes before setting about the next stage of his ritual. The air is still, and the quiet of the room invites a calm focus. He first retrieves a small wooden box from a shelf, its finish worn smooth by years of careful handling. Inside, various implements await their return, each one significant in the process of maintaining footwear. He removes the soft, well-worn cloth, its fibers almost singed with a patina of past uses. This cloth is designated for the final buffing, a step that requires gentle strokes to bring out the natural luster of the leather. He notes the size of the cloth, approximately a foot square, an optimal dimension for his hands to maneuver with ease. Next, he picks up the brush, a sturdy piece with bristles that have softened over time. The bristles, once stiff, have adapted to the nuances of the leather they touch. He runs his fingers along the handle, feeling its comforting grip. This brush, about 6 inches long, fits snugly in his palm, allowing for a rhythm of sweeping motions. He places it back in the box, ensuring it rests in a way that preserves its shape, prolonging its useful life. He then closes the box carefully, ensuring it is secured. The box itself is a simple construction, crafted from a single piece of oak. It has aged gracefully, its surface displaying the patterns of time. The squire places it back on the shelf, a small act that signifies the end of one day's duties and the anticipation of tomorrow's. He takes a moment to reflect on the cost of these tools, understanding their worth not in mere currency, but in the dedication they represent. The brush, when first acquired, cost him about 2 pence. The cloth, slightly less at 1 penny, and the tin of polish, which he remembers was a rather extravagant 4 pence. Each item is a testament to his commitment to this daily ritual, each expense justified by the satisfaction of well-maintained footwear. With tools safely stored, he turns to the shoes once more. He examines them closely, noting the way the light dances upon their surface. The shoes have a rich, dark brown hue, a color that deepens with each application of polish. The leather is thick, yet supple, a quality that speaks of careful craftsmanship. He recalls the time it took to acquire them, the hours spent in the marketplace, selecting the right pair. He takes a moment to enjoy the quiet, breathing slowly as he envisions the steps he took that day. The shoes, now reflecting a polished sheen, are not merely footwear. They represent his identity as a squire. The hours spent tending to them serve as a reminder of his role and responsibilities. Little by little, he reconnects with the feelings of purpose and pride that accompany such tasks. The squire knows that his routine is not merely a reflection of personal preference, but also a matter of etiquette among his peers. A well-polished shoe is a sign of respect, a signal to others of one's standing and attention to detail. In the world he inhabits, where appearances often speak louder than words, such care is paramount. As he settles into a comfortable chair, he allows the day's exertions to melt away. He knows that tomorrow will bring another opportunity to engage in this ritual. The sun will rise, and with it, the natural progression of his duties will begin anew. He thinks of the morning light filtering through the window, illuminating the polished shoes that await his attention. With the evening drawing on, he reflects on the regularity of his schedule. Each day, he rises at dawn, pausing for a moment to gather his thoughts. He enjoys a simple breakfast, perhaps a crust of bread and a cup of ale. Little by little, he prepares himself for the day ahead. After breakfast, he attends to his horse, grooming the creature with the same care he applies to his footwear. After his morning chores are complete, he returns to the sanctuary of his room. There, he will turn to the box of shining tools, ready to engage in the soothing act of polishing once more. The rhythm of this routine brings him peace, a comforting structure in the unpredictability of life. He thinks of how long each step takes. The shining process itself, from application to final buffing, requires about 30 minutes. This time, while seemingly mundane, is a cherished segment of his day. It is a moment where he can pause, breathe, and reflect. The steps are methodical. First, the polish is applied with a gentle circular motion, allowing it to work into the fine creases of the leather. Next, he waits a moment, allowing the wax to set before proceeding to the buffing phase. Oh. As he pictures the process in his mind, he feels the calming rhythm of his routine echoing in the quiet of the evening. The act of polishing is a dialogue between himself and the shoes, a communication of care that transcends words. Each stroke is a pledge to maintain the integrity of the leather, each application a promise of continued care and attention. He thinks of the etiquette involved in this task, the unspoken rules that govern the world of footwear maintenance. Among the squires, there exists a mutual understanding that clean shoes reflect a clean spirit. The act of shining is not just for personal benefit. It is a matter of community respect. When a squire walks into a gathering, his polished shoes are a silent introduction, a subtle reminder of his dedication. Might say, he considers the way the shoes are often displayed at gatherings. Little stands, perhaps a small pedestal or a simple table, are designated for this purpose. The shoes rest, poised and ready, showcasing the fruits of labor. Guests and peers alike admire the craftsmanship, the sheen, the very essence of care that each pair embodies. He envisions himself at such an event, surrounded by others dressed in their finest, their shoes polished to a mirror-like shine. The conversation flows easily, and the shoes serve as a backdrop, a reminder of the shared values among them. Care, respect, and attention to detail are the cornerstones of their society. As he relaxes deeper into the chair, the squire feels the weight of the day lifting off his shoulders. The evening air is cool, and he breathes in the stillness around him. He knows that soon he will retire for the night, and tomorrow will bring the familiar rhythm of shining shoes once more. Slowly and gently, he allows his mind to drift, the soothing thoughts of leather and polish cradling him into a serene state. The rituals of shoe shining are not just tasks to be completed, they are threads woven into the fabric of his existence. Each moment spent caring for his footwear resonates with his identity, a humble reminder of the life he leads. And so, he prepares to let go of the day, welcoming the promise of tomorrow's responsibilities with open arms. Little by little, he succumbs to the tranquility of the evening, the gentle lull of routine guiding him toward peaceful dreams. As dawn breaks, soft beams of sunlight filter through the window, gently illuminating the space where the squire prepares for the day ahead. The air is still cool, and the faint scent of polished leather mingles with the crisp morning. He rises slowly from his chair, feeling the weight of his responsibilities settle on him like a familiar cloak. The morning begins with a careful selection of tools. Each item has its purpose, its place in the ritual of shoe shining. The squire reaches for the soft bristle brush first, its bristles gently waving in the air, a promise of tenderness. He places it on the polished wooden table beside the shoebox, and then retrieves the box itself. It is a sturdy, weathered wooden box, adorned with brass accents that glint softly in the morning light. Inside the box, he finds an array of items essential for the day's work. There are tins of polish, each labeled with care. The colors range from deep mahogany to bright chestnut. The squire knows that choosing the right shade is crucial, as it will determine the final look of the shoes. He carefully unscrews the lid of the mahogany tin, inhaling the rich, earthy scent of the polish, a scent that evokes memories of countless shining sessions. He then retrieves a small, flat applicator made of soft cloth, ideal for spreading the polish evenly. This applicator is smooth, comforting to the touch, and he knows it will glide over the leather with ease. He sets it aside and reaches for a second cloth, a slightly rougher piece, perfect for buffing the shoes to a radiant finish. Next, the squire turns his attention to the shoes themselves. They sit elegantly on the ground, waiting patiently for their morning transformation. The leather is rich and supple, a testament to the diligent care of previous days. He kneels before them, feeling the coolness of the floor beneath him, grounding him in the moment. With meticulous care, he begins the routine. First, he brushes away any dust or dirt that may have accumulated overnight. The soft bristle brush glides smoothly across the surface, each stroke taking a moment to appreciate the texture of the leather. He finds a rhythm in the brushing, a gentle back-and-forth motion that feels almost meditative. Each sweep reveals the shoe's natural luster, reminding him of the importance of his task. Once the shoes are clean, he opens the tin of polish once more. He dips the applicator into the rich mahogany cream, gathering just the right amount. Not too much, for excess polish can create unsightly streaks. He applies the polish in small circles, working it gently into the leather, feeling the fibers of the shoe respond to his touch. Little by little, the leather absorbs the cream, deepening in color and character. He continues this process, methodically covering each shoe, ensuring even application. The polish glistens in the light, reflecting his careful attention. As he works, he counts the strokes softly in his mind, a quiet mantra that helps him maintain focus. 1, 2, 3, And then, little by little, he moves to the toe, the heel, and then to the sides, ensuring every area receives the same loving care. After the polish is applied, he sets the applicator down and retrieves the rougher cloth. This cloth is his secret weapon, the key to unlocking the final shine. He begins to buff the surface, using a gentle yet firm pressure. The cloth glides over the polished leather, and he can feel the texture transform beneath his hands. Slowly and gently, the shoes begin to gleam, catching the light in a way that brings a sense of satisfaction to his heart. The rhythm of buffing becomes almost hypnotic. He moves from one shoe to the other, ensuring each one receives equal attention. The act of buffing is a dance, a graceful interplay between the cloth and the shoe. He pauses momentarily to admire his work, the deep mahogany now radiating warmth and elegance. As he finishes buffing the first shoe, he turns to the second, repeating the process with the same care and dedication. Each shoe deserves its moment. It's time to shine, just as he does in his role. He reflects on the importance of this ritual, the way it grounds him. And so, he moves slowly through each step, savoring the sensations that accompany the process. The scent of polish, the texture of leather, the rhythm of his movements. There's a calmness in this routine, a peacefulness that envelops him like a warm embrace. Each moment spent shining shoes is a moment spent in mindfulness, a reminder of the beauty in the mundane. Once both shoes have been polished and buffed to perfection, he takes a moment to assess his handiwork. He runs his fingers over the smooth surfaces, feeling the warmth radiate from the leather. It is a satisfying conclusion to the morning's efforts. He knows that these shoes will carry him through the day, and he feels a sense of pride in his work. He carefully places the shoes back in their designated spot, ensuring they are aligned perfectly. There is an unspoken etiquette in the way shoes are stored. They must be treated with respect, each pair deserving a proper place. He checks the storage area for any dust or debris, ensuring that the environment remains conducive to their longevity. Next, he turns to clean his tools. The brushes must be cared for as well. He gently taps the bristled brush against the table, allowing any residual polish to fall free. He wipes the applicator cloth with care, ensuring it is ready for the next use. This, too, is a part of the ritual, maintaining the tools that assist in his journey of shoe shining. With each action, he feels the weight of the world lift a little more. The sun has now fully risen, casting a warm glow in the room. The Squire knows that the day will soon unfold with its own set of challenges and responsibilities. But for now, he finds solace in the simplicity of this task. Little by little, he settles into a state of calmness, embracing the rhythm of his morning. He takes a deep breath, inhaling the lingering scent of polish and leather, and slowly exhales, releasing the remnants of the night. The world outside may be waiting, but for these moments, he remains in the sanctuary of his routine. And so, with polished shoes and a serene heart, the Squire prepares to step into the day, carrying with him the quiet strength that comes from the beauty of the mundane. Yes. As the morning light gently fills the room, the Squire prepares for the next phase of his shoe-shining routine. He retrieves a small wooden box, intricately carved, where he keeps his shining supplies. The box, polished to a soft sheen, is a testament to his dedication. Inside, he finds a collection of soft cloths. These cloths, made from fine wool, are essential for the final buffing of the leather. Each cloth is about 12 inches square, carefully folded and stored with care. He selects a clean cloth, feeling the texture against his fingers, soft yet sturdy. Next, he reaches for the polish. The small tin is round, about 3 inches in diameter. Its surface is slightly dented from years of use, but the contents inside remain vital. The polish itself is a rich, deep brown, and he opens the lid slowly, savoring the familiar scent. It is a mixture of beeswax, turpentine, and other natural oils. This blend helps to nourish and protect the leather, ensuring that it remains supple and resilient. He scoops a small amount with the tip of his finger, just enough to cover the surface of one shoe. The squire knows that moderation is key. Too much polish can lead to an unsightly buildup, while too little will leave the shoe unprotected. With a practiced hand, he spreads the polish evenly across the leather, working it into every crevice. This process requires patience. He moves steadily, covering the surface in gentle, circular motions. He focuses on one shoe at a time, allowing the polish to soak in. The squire often finds himself lost in this rhythm, breathing steadily and letting the world fade away for a moment. As he works, he recalls the origins of this craft. Squires, in days of yore, were often responsible for the upkeep of a knight's armor and gear, including shoes. It was a duty taken seriously. A well-polished shoe was a reflection of a squire's attention to detail and respect for his knight. After applying the polish, he allows it to sit for a few moments. This brief waiting period enables the oils to penetrate deeply into the leather. During this time, he cleanses his tools once more, ensuring they remain in optimal condition. He takes the bristled brush, its handle worn smooth from years of service, and gives it a gentle shake. He sweeps the brush over the table, collecting any stray bits of polish that may have escaped during application. The sound of bristles brushing against the wood is calming, a soft whisper in the stillness of the room. Once the polish has set, he returns to the shoe. He picks up the soft cloth, ready for the final step of the shining process. This cloth, now warmed by his hands, will bring forth the shine. He begins to buff the leather, using long, sweeping strokes. Slowly and gently, he works the cloth over the surface, revealing a rich, glossy finish. He applies just the right amount of pressure. Too much, and he risks damaging the leather. Too little, and the shine will not emerge. He follows a careful pattern, starting at the toe and moving toward the heel, then back to the vamp. Each stroke is deliberate, each movement measured. He pays attention to the reflections beginning to dance across the surface of the leather. Little by little, the shoe transforms before his eyes. With each pass of the cloth, the surface grows more lustrous, more alive. After several minutes of buffing, he pauses to admire his work. The shoe shines like a polished gemstone, radiant in the warm light of the morning. He takes a moment to appreciate the beauty of this simple task. Next, he moves to the second shoe, repeating the process with the same care and attention. He knows that consistency is essential. Each shoe must shine equally. A knight would not be pleased with uneven footwear. He scoops another small amount of polish, repeating the motions he has honed over countless mornings. The squire reflects on the importance of this routine in the grand scheme of his duties. While others may see it as a mundane task, he understands its significance. Polished shoes convey respect, not just for the knight, but also for the squire himself. As he applies the polish to the second shoe, he remains in a state of zen-like focus. The world outside may be bustling with activity, but here, in this moment, all is calm. The rhythmic application of polish, the soft sound of the brush, and the gentle buffing of the cloth create a symphony of tranquility. In the final stages of the process, he takes a moment to reflect on the price of these supplies. A tin of polish, back in those days, could cost anywhere from 2 to 4 pence, depending on the quality. A good brush might set a Squire back a few more pence, yet the investment is worth it for the smooth finish it provides. He considers the storage of these items. The wooden box, though small, is designed to protect the contents from dust and dampness. It is important that the polish remains uncontaminated and that the brushes do not become frayed. He places the box on a shelf, within easy reach, ensuring it is close at hand for future use. After finishing the second shoe, he takes a step back to survey his work. Both shoes gleam with a polished luster, reflecting the care and attention that has gone into their preparation. Little by little, he notices the satisfaction that comes from a job well done. As he prepares to put the shoes aside, he takes a moment to appreciate the sense of calm that envelops him. The sun has now fully risen, casting gentle rays through the window. The world outside may be full of noise, but here, within the sanctuary of his routine, he feels a sense of peace. In this quiet moment, the Squire knows he's ready. He is not just prepared for the day ahead. He is armed with the knowledge that even the simplest tasks can carry profound meaning. With polished shoes and a calm heart, he embraces the unfolding day, ready to face whatever may come. As the morning continues, the Squire takes careful note of the tools he has employed in his task. Each tool has its purpose and its place. The soft cloth, once dampened with polish, is folded neatly on the table. This cloth is essential, a gentle companion for the shoes, and it requires special care. It is important that it be laundered regularly to maintain its softness and effectiveness. After each polishing session, he ensures it is placed in a designated area, away from dust and dirt, perhaps inside a small drawer lined with a soft fabric. This little step helps prolong its life, and in doing so, he preserves the quality of the shine he works so hard to achieve. The brushes, too, are noteworthy tools in this humble craft. The bristle brush, its handle carved from smooth wood, is ideal for applying the polish. The bristles, firm yet flexible, glide over the leather, delivering a uniform coat. He inspects the brush, noticing the gentle wear of the bristles, which have molded themselves to the curves of various shoes. He knows that a good brush can last years, but it must be treated with care. Cleaning it after each use is essential. He rinses it under warm water, making sure to remove all polish residue. Once clean, he lays it flat to dry, away from sunlight, which could cause the bristles to harden and crack. Next, he reflects on the polish itself. The tin of polish, once opened, releases a faint, pleasant scent. It is a blend of waxes and oils, formulated to nourish the leather while providing it with a protective layer. The Squire recalls that this tin, purchased from a local merchant, costs only a few coins, yet it holds the power to transform the appearance of his footwear. Each application requires only a small amount, and he takes care to replace the lid tightly after each session. This practice ensures the polish remains fresh, extending its life and efficacy. The Squire develops a routine, a ritual of sorts, around the polishing process. Each morning, he sets aside a specific time for this task, allowing himself 30 minutes to devote to the shoes. This time is sacred, a moment of solitude before the demands of the day take hold. He begins with the inspection of the shoes, taking note of any scuffs or marks that require extra attention. He understands that a pair of well-maintained shoes reflects not only his personal pride, but also the values of the household he serves. Thus, he approaches each shoe methodically. With the bristle brush in hand, he works in circular motions, applying the polish with care. He starts at the toe, where most wear tends to show, working gradually towards the heel. The gentle scrubbing motion allows the polish to seep into the leather, nourishing it slowly, and ensuring every inch is covered. This process, while straightforward, requires patience. He knows that rushing can lead to uneven application, which would mar the final appearance. After the initial layer is applied, he takes a moment to pause. The squire reflects on the importance of waiting. Allowing the polish to set is essential. He sits quietly, perhaps contemplating the day ahead, or simply enjoying the silence surrounding him. This waiting, this stillness, is part of the ritual, and it allows the leather to absorb the polish fully. Once the wait is over, he returns to the shoes. With a soft cloth in hand, he begins to buff the leather. This step is crucial, as it brings out the luster and shine. He employs a steady rhythm, back and forth, up and down, ensuring the surface glistens evenly. He often finds himself lost in the motion, the repetitive action soothing his mind. Little by little, he can see the transformation taking place. The ritual of polishing extends beyond mere aesthetics. It is a form of respect, a commitment to maintaining the tools that serve him daily. The squire understands that boots and shoes are not just accessories. They are a vital part of his life, and treating them well reflects on his character. He recalls the etiquette surrounding footwear in his circle. A well-polished shoe indicates a well-groomed individual, someone who takes care of themselves and their responsibilities. As he finishes buffing the second shoe, he takes a moment to admire his handiwork. The shoes are not just polished, they glimmer with a sense of purpose. They are ready for the day, an extension of his commitment to service. The squire places both shoes side by side, aligning them perfectly. This minor detail brings him an immense sense of satisfaction. Everything has its place, and everything must be in order. With the shoes completed, he reflects on the storage system he has developed. It is a simple yet effective method. He keeps the shoes in a dedicated area within his chamber, a small shelf near the window. This shelf is clean and organized, allowing him to easily see and access his footwear. Each pair is positioned carefully, with enough space to prevent scuffs. He knows that allowing the shoes to breathe is essential, so he never overcrowds the space. Instead, he keeps a small, subtle fragrance sachet nearby to maintain a pleasant aroma. He takes a moment to consider the larger implications of his task. The act of polishing shoes is in essence a reflection of a greater tradition, one that emphasizes the importance of care, respect, and diligence. He thinks of the generations before him, the squires and knights who have upheld this practice for centuries. Each individual, in their own way, has contributed to a legacy of grooming and preparation. Even the purchase of tools and supplies becomes a part of this larger narrative. The merchant, a local tradesman, relies on the community to sustain his business. The squire regards his small purchases with gratitude, knowing that each coin spent supports livelihoods. This mutual reliance further deepens his appreciation for the mundane details of his life. Each time he visits the merchant, he engages in polite conversation, a dance of etiquette that reinforces their connection. As he tidies up his area, he reflects on the time spent polishing shoes as a form of meditation. The repetitive motions, the gentle scents, and the quiet focus all blend together, creating a sanctuary in which he can prepare himself for the day's challenges. Little by little, he begins to feel a sense of tranquility that accompanies a job well done. In this way, the squire's attention to shoe shining transcends the simple act of cleaning and polishing. It becomes a moment of mindfulness, an opportunity to engage in a practice that embodies respect for oneself and others. And so, he carries this lesson into each day, knowing that even the most mundane tasks can hold great significance when approached with intention. As the squire prepares for his daily ritual, he gathers the necessary tools for his shoe shining. Each item has its own place, a designated spot in his modest quarters. The wooden box, worn with time, holds his supplies securely. Within this box lie brushes of various sizes, each crafted with care. The larger brush, with its stout bristles, is perfect for the initial sweep, while the smaller, finer brush is reserved for the delicate finishing touches. The squire handles them with familiarity, knowing precisely how to wield each tool to achieve a gleaming result. He also takes out a small tin of polish, a rich, dark paste that holds the promise of transformation. The tin is slightly dented, a testament to its long service, but it remains effective nonetheless. He opens it carefully, inhaling the earthy scent that wafts up, a mix of beeswax and oils. This scent is comforting, grounding him in the present moment. The squire knows that the polish must be applied with intention, a thin layer that will nourish the leather while providing a lustrous finish. He prepares a soft cloth, woven from cotton, to apply the polish. The cloth, washed often, is soft but firm, allowing him to work the polish into the leather's surface without damaging it. He folds it neatly, creating a small pouch in which to hold the polish. With the brush in one hand and the cloth in the other, he feels ready to begin this tranquil task. Before he starts, the squire takes a moment to breathe deeply. He settles into a comfortable position, ensuring his shoulders are relaxed and his feet are flat on the ground. Little by little, he finds his rhythm, inhaling slowly and exhaling gently. This is more than a chore. It is a moment of connection with his belongings, a respectful acknowledgement of the journey they have shared. He starts with the first shoe, a sturdy boot made of supple leather, its surface slightly scuffed from the previous day's wear. The squire gently brushes away any dirt with the larger brush, using long, sweeping strokes. Each stroke is deliberate, as he removes the remnants of the day, preparing the boot for its rejuvenation. The brush glides smoothly, collecting dust and debris, creating a small heap at his feet. The act is meditative, almost rhythmic. As he finishes, the boot appears cleaner, its natural color more pronounced. He pauses to admire the results, appreciating the transformation that is about to unfold. He dips the corner of the cloth into the polish, just enough to gather a small amount. The squire knows that too much polish can be counterproductive, creating a thick layer that will not absorb properly. Instead, he prefers to build up the shine gradually, layer by layer. With gentle motions, he begins to apply the polish. He works it into the leather using small, circular movements. Each stroke is methodical, adding just the right amount of pressure. He can feel the polish sinking in, nourishing the fibers, restoring their elasticity. The leather drinks in the polish, becoming darker and richer with each application. After a few moments, he takes a step back to observe his handiwork. The boot glistens softly in the dim light, a reflection of his effort and dedication. But the task is not yet complete. He knows that the final step is equally important. He picks up the smaller brush, its bristles fine and soft, specifically designed to work the polish further into the grooves of the leather. Using the smaller brush, he carefully buffs the surface, moving in the same circular motions. Each movement is gentle, coaxing the leather into a state of elegance and refinement. The squire takes his time, allowing the brush to glide effortlessly, creating a smooth texture. He enjoys the subtle sound of the bristles whispering against the leather, a soft and soothing rhythm. With each pass of the brush, the boot shines brighter. The squire remains aware of the time passing, for he understands the importance of patience in this art. The boot requires not only physical attention, but emotional investment. He reflects on the stories this boot has witnessed, the journeys taken, and the adventures yet to come. Little by little, he sees his own journey reflected in the shine. Once he is satisfied with the boot, he places it aside, allowing it to rest while he attends to its companion. The second boot awaits, eager for its transformation. He begins the same meticulous process, brushing away dirt, applying polish, and buffing with care. He finds comfort in the repetition, a familiar dance that brings him peace. As he works, he considers the etiquette involved in shoe shining. In the world of the medieval squire, polished footwear is more than just a matter of appearance. It is a representation of character, a silent message to others about one's discipline and respectability. A well-polished boot signals readiness and attention to detail, traits admired in a squire. The squire understands that this moment of care for his footwear reflects a larger commitment to his duties. Each shining session serves as a reminder of his obligations, both to himself and to those he serves. It is a ritual steeped in tradition, one that has been passed down through generations. In this way, he connects with the past, honoring those who have come before him while embracing the present. After working on both boots, the squire admires the final result. The leather shines with a deep luster, reflecting the glow of the faint candlelight around him. He feels a sense of accomplishment wash over him, a gentle wave of satisfaction. Little by little, he realizes that this act, so simple yet profound, is a nurturing of spirit as much as it is an act of maintenance. He carefully places the boots back in their designated spot, ensuring they will be protected until their next use. Proper storage is crucial, he reminds himself. The squire knows that leather requires care, a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight to avoid cracking and fading. He makes a note in his mind to revisit this space regularly, checking for dust and ensuring the boots remain in pristine condition. As he cleans up, putting away the brushes and cloths, he reflects on the routine he has established. Each day is punctuated by this peaceful ritual, a grounding moment in a world that often feels fast-paced and demanding. He understands that through this process, he cultivates a sense of discipline, a commitment to both his footwear and his personal values. The squire smiles softly, knowing that it is in these small, quiet moments that one can find clarity. He takes a deep breath, feeling his body relax as he completes his task. As he settles into his evening, He carries with him the serenity that comes from engaging in a simple yet meaningful routine. The world around him fades, and he finds comfort in the knowledge that polished boots await anew, ready to carry him on his next adventure. As the evening deepens, the squire reflects upon the tools of his trade. The brushes, each unique in their purpose, are carefully arranged on a low, sturdy table. There is a large horsehair brush, soft and gentle, perfect for removing the dust accumulated from a day spent outdoors. It glides over the leather with ease, lifting away particles that might otherwise scratch the surface. The horsehair bristles are selected for their durability and ability to create a radiant shine. Each stroke is measured, each movement deliberate, as he finds solace in the rhythm of his actions. Next to the horsehair brush, there lies a smaller, firmer brush with bristles made from the hair of a hog. This brush serves a different purpose, one that is more focused. It is used after the application of polish, working the wax into the leather, allowing it to absorb deeply. He notes the importance of using the right brush for the right task, as he remembers the old squire who had taught him this routine. The squire recalls the various polishes he keeps in a neatly organized wooden box. Each tin is labeled, some with the names of the colors, while others simply state neutral. The neutral polish is versatile, suitable for any leather footwear, while the colored ones match specific boots, enhancing their natural hues. He recalls the price of each tin, a modest sum, perhaps a few pence for a small container. Each tin contains just enough wax to last several weeks, depending on his usage. As he lifts a tin of dark brown polish, he feels the coolness of the metal against his fingertips. It is a comforting texture, smooth and solid. The scent of the wax fills the air, a rich aroma that speaks of care and attention. He opens the tin slowly, revealing the glossy surface within. He observes the way the light dances across the top, reflecting his dedication to this simple task. No. With a clean cloth, he scoops a small amount of polish, just enough to cover the tip of his index finger. He enjoys the sensation of the wax warming against the leather, a gentle embrace that prepares the surface for the careful application. The squire remembers to breathe deeply, inhaling the earthy scent of the polish, letting it fill his lungs. He applies the polish in small circular motions, starting at the toe of the boot and working his way up. Each stroke is intentional, deliberate, almost meditative in its repetition. He finds joy in this process, allowing himself to get lost in the rhythmic motions. Slowly and gently, he works the polish into the grain of the leather, ensuring every inch receives attention. He knows that this is how he honors the craftsmanship of the boots, acknowledging the hard work that went into creating them. As he continues, he is aware of the time. It takes approximately 10 minutes to polish each boot, a small investment for the sake of appearance and protection. He values the procedure, understanding that a well-shined boot can leave a lasting impression. The squire recalls the importance of first impressions, how a polished appearance reflects not only on himself, but also on his knight. After he has polished each boot, he moves to the buffing stage. The large horsehair brush returns to his hand, and he begins to gently buff the leather. The brisk strokes create a soft sound, a gentle whisper that fills the quiet room. With each movement, he can see the surface begin to shine, the deep tones of the leather coming to life. The process is soothing, a dance between the brush and the surface, a harmony of effort and result. He can feel the warmth of the leather under his touch. It is this warmth that reassures him, a reminder that he is nurturing something valuable. The squire knows that this attention to detail is what sets him apart from those who might neglect their duties. He enjoys the comfort of knowing that he is contributing to the overall appearance of his knight's ensemble. Once the buffing is complete, he inspects his work. The boots glisten softly in the low light, a testament to the care he has bestowed upon them. He admires the way the polish has settled into the leather, enhancing its natural beauty. The squire takes a moment to appreciate the fruits of his labor, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over him. After the ritual of polishing, he carefully places each boot in its designated spot. He remembers the importance of maintaining order, ensuring that everything has its place. This practice is not just for aesthetics. It is a reflection of the discipline he wishes to cultivate within himself. He observes the way the boots stand proudly, ready to serve once more. The squire knows that this is not just a matter of appearance. Polished boots provide a layer of protection against the elements, shielding the leather from moisture and dirt. He recalls the stories of older knights, their boots worn and cracked from neglect. He understands that his efforts today will prolong the life of these boots, allowing them to accompany him on many journeys to come. He takes a moment to rest his hands, feeling the slight ache from the repetitive motions. It is a gentle reminder of the work he has put in, the mindfulness he has practiced. He closes his eyes briefly, picturing the next day ahead. The routine will begin once more, as he will rise early to prepare his knight's armor and attire. As he settles into this thought, the squire imagines the smooth flow of the morning. The sun will rise slowly, casting a warm glow across the courtyard. He will awaken to the sounds of the stable, the gentle whinnies and soft hoofbeats. He can almost feel the cool morning air on his skin as he prepares for a new day, full of promise and potential. He considers the importance of maintaining these routines, how they anchor him in a world that can sometimes feel overwhelmed. By caring for the boots, he's caring for himself, grounding his mind and spirit amidst the duties of knighthood. He smiles softly, content in the knowledge that tomorrow will bring another opportunity to engage in this peaceful practice of boot polishing. With this in mind, the squire gently rises from his seat, ensuring that all tools are returned to their proper places. The brushes are stored in their designated compartments, the cloths folded neatly, ready for the next use. He feels a sense of satisfaction as he completes this task, this small yet significant part of his daily life. The world outside continues its rhythm, but within this space, there is calm, there is peace, there is order. And so, the squire prepares to rest for the night, knowing that a new day awaits him, filled with the promise of polished boots and quiet routines. As he lays down, he carries the comfort of this evening's work with him, a soothing embrace that will guide him into a serene slumber. As the evening settles into a gentle hush, the squire reflects on the tools of his trade, the tools that assist him in his daily ritual of boot polishing. Each item has its own designated place, each with a purpose, ensuring that the process remains calm and orderly. The brushes, for instance, each vary in size and texture. There's a large horsehair brush, soft and fluffy, perfect for the initial application of polish. Its bristles glide along the surface of the leather, releasing a delicate sheen. He recalls the subtle differences in the brushes, the way the smaller, stiffer bristle brush, used for intricate areas, demands a gentle touch. There is a soft cotton cloth, kept for the final buffing, which reflects a warm glow when it meets the boots. He folds it with care, knowing that cleanliness is essential in maintaining its effectiveness. The cloth should be free from any dust or debris, for a clean cloth ensures that no scratches mar the surface of the polished leather. The squire smiles softly, recalling the time he learned this lesson. An accidental scuff during polishing, a reminder of the importance of diligence in even the smallest tasks. Next to the brushes and cloth, there rests the polish itself, a small tin of rich, creamy substance, its color chosen to match the leather of the boots. The tin is embossed with a simple design, perhaps a family crest or the name of the maker, a reminder of craftsmanship. He recalls the cost of the polish, a modest sum that reflects its quality, a few pence well spent for the sake of maintaining the appearance of his footwear. The squire always feels a sense of pride as he opens the tin, inhaling the scent of beeswax and oils, a scent that carries with it the promise of a well-kept boot. The squire envisions the process of polishing, an unhurried sequence that invites tranquility. He begins with the horsehair brush, gently dipping it into the tin. He remembers to measure carefully, ensuring that just the right amount of polish is applied. Too much will create a mess. Too little will allow the leather to dry. The right balance is crucial in this delicate dance of care. He smooths the brush over the leather, working the polish into the surface with gentle strokes. Each stroke is deliberate, rhythmic, soothing. He recalls the etiquette of the act, the reverence with which it should be approached. It is not merely a task, it is a ritual, one worthy of respect. The squire thinks of the other squires, each engaged in their own polishing routines, a shared camaraderie that comes from this simple act. They understand the importance of maintaining their boots, the way it reflects their status and readiness. Polished boots are a sign of respect. Respect for oneself, respect for the knight, and respect for those they serve alongside. After the initial brushing is complete, the squire pauses, allowing the polish to settle into the leather. He takes this moment to reflect, to breathe deeply, to feel the rhythm of the world around him. The flicker of candlelight dances softly against the stone walls of the chamber, casting gentle shadows that seem to sway in time with his thoughts. Time passes and he resumes the process, taking the cotton cloth into his hands. The edges of the cloth are slightly frayed, a sign of many evenings spent in this tranquil practice. He wraps it around his fingers, creating a soft pad. The cloth glides over the leather, buffing the surface, revealing the shine hidden beneath the initial application of polish. He moves in small circles, letting the cloth caress the boots, bringing forth a depth of color that reflects his efforts. He takes care to ensure that every inch of the boot receives attention. The toe, the heel, the seams, all must be polished to perfection. This part of the process is almost meditative, requiring focus and precision. The gentle friction between the cloth and the leather creates a soft sound, a whisper that accompanies him as he works, a soothing reminder of the task at hand. The squire remembers the importance of timing, how long to spend on each boot. He gives each boot a dedicated moment, a slow and gentle dedication of his time. He thinks of the old masters who taught him, their patience and wisdom. Slowly and gently, they would say, is the way to achieve true shine. These words echo in his mind as he continues his work, guiding him into a peaceful rhythm. As he finishes polishing the first boot, he inspects his work carefully. The leather glistens in the candlelight, a deep, warm hue that speaks of careful attention. He respects this moment, this opportunity to appreciate what he has accomplished. Then, he moves to the second boot, repeating the process with the same care and dedication. The dance of polish and cloth continues, a soothing repetition that lulls him deeper into calm. He recalls the schedule that governs his polishing routines. Each week, he dedicates one evening specifically for a thorough cleaning, while daily shines are reserved for quick touch-ups before the dawn breaks. The rhythm of the week becomes a comforting pattern, a predictable cycle that he can rely on. Such routines provide a sense of stability, a foundation upon which the uncertainty of the world can rest. The squire finishes the second boot, leaning back to admire his work. A soft sigh escapes his lips as he notes the transformation, the boots now gleaming with a rich luster. He recalls the importance of storage after polishing, understanding that the care does not end with the shine. The boots must be placed in a cool, dry location, away from direct sunlight, to preserve their beauty. He visualizes the small wooden crate they reside in, lined with soft fabric to prevent scuffs. He gently places the boots within, ensuring they are positioned with care. The crate fits snugly beneath the bed, a safe haven for the polished footwear. He takes a moment to appreciate the small act of returning them to their resting place. Each boot, each brush, each cloth has its own home. This order, this organization, lends itself to a deep sense of peace. As he concludes this evening's ritual, he feels a warmth in his heart. The squire understands that this practice, while seemingly mundane, is a thread woven into the tapestry of his life. It connects him to the past, to his mentors, and to the duties that await him in the morning light. With each stroke of the brush, each touch of the cloth, he has not just polished boots, he has polished the very essence of his being. And so, as he prepares to lay down for the night, he carries with him the comfort of this routine. He knows that tomorrow, once again, he will rise to the promise of polished boots and quiet rituals. The squire closes his eyes, allowing the rhythm of his thoughts to drift softly into slumber, guided by the soothing echoes of tonight's work. And then, little by little, he fades into the gentle embrace of sleep. As the dawn begins to break, soft light seeps into the squire's chamber. It dances gently across the floor, illuminating the well-organized space where he begins his day. The first task awaits him, as each morning begins with the careful selection of tools. He chooses a set of brushes, each designed for a specific purpose. The first brush, stiff yet flexible, is made of horsehair. It stands upright, its bristles firm but forgiving. This brush will be used for the initial application of polish, a warm and fragrant mixture of beeswax and oil. He measures out a small amount, about the size of a walnut. Slowly and gently, he applies it to the boot surface, working it in with soft, circular motions. The warmth of the polish begins to penetrate the leather, nourishing it, awakening its rich color and texture. There is something comforting in this process, a gentle rhythm that brings clarity to the mind. Once the polish is applied, he reaches for the second brush, a softer one, crafted with the finest goat hair. This brush glides smoothly over the surface, spreading the polish evenly. He takes his time, ensuring that every inch of the boot is covered. Each stroke feels deliberate, soothing, as if he is caressing the very essence of the leather. The squire pays attention to the details, to the little creases and folds that often get overlooked. He knows that neglecting these areas could lead to wear and tear. So he leans in closer, inspecting the boot as he works. He whispers softly to himself, reminding his hands to be gentle and patient. Next, he selects a cloth, soft and clean, made from fine linen. This cloth is essential for the finishing touch. He folds it neatly, creating a smooth surface. With careful precision, he takes the cloth and begins to buff the boot. The rhythmic motion creates a gentle shine, reflecting a light in a way that brings satisfaction to the squire's heart. This step, this buffing, requires time and attention. He understands that rushing this process would dull the luster, so he moves deliberately. The cloth glides over the leather, and he feels a connection to the artisans of the past, those who also took pride in their craft. The squire imagines their hands, worn yet skillful, performing the same ritual. He repeats the motion, slowly and gently, allowing the boot to absorb the care he is giving it. After several minutes, he inspects his work, admiring the way the boot gleams. This ritual is a form of meditation, a moment of quiet amidst a life filled with duties. As he finishes with one boot, he places it back in its designated spot. He then turns his attention to the second boot, repeating the steps with the same care. The squire knows that consistency is key. Each boot must reflect the same standards of excellence. He measures out another small amount of polish, about the size of a hazelnut, and applies it to the second boot, working it in with the same circular motion. Once again, he uses the soft brush to spread the polish, ensuring an even application. The room is filled with a subtle scent, a blend of beeswax and leather, a reminder of the heritage that surrounds him. After the polish is absorbed, he takes the linen cloth and begins to buff. The second boot begins to shine, mirroring its partner. He steps back, allowing a moment of appreciation. The reflection of the morning light on the polished leather brings a sense of calm. This routine, while seemingly mundane, serves a higher purpose. The squire understands the importance of looking presentable. It is a matter of honor, a reflection of his dedication to duty. Polished boots signify readiness, respect for oneself and others. The squire also knows the etiquette surrounding his footwear. When entering the hall of his lord, it is expected that he arrives with boots that are clean and polished. Any hint of neglect could be seen as a lack of respect. The squire feels the weight of this expectation, but it comforts him to know that he can control this aspect of his appearance. He reflects on the materials used. The beeswax polish, when made correctly, consists of equal parts beeswax and linseed oil. This mixture not only protects the leather, but also enhances its natural beauty. He remembers the cost of these materials, modest but significant in the context of his daily allowances. A small container of beeswax polish might cost a few copper coins, yet it is an investment in his appearance and well-being. As he completes the shining process, he refers to the storage of his tools. He has a dedicated space for each item, ensuring that they are always ready for use. The brushes are housed in a small wooden box, kept away from dust and moisture. The cloths are laundered regularly, maintaining their softness and cleanliness. Each tool has its own purpose, its own place, contributing to the harmony of the squire's routine. The care he takes with his footwear is mirrored in other aspects of his life. He tidies his chamber, folds his garments, and organizes his equipment with the same attention to detail. He understands that each action, no matter how small, contributes to a larger sense of order and purpose. After polishing the boots, he takes a moment to sit quietly, reflecting on the simplicity of the task. The quiet hum of the morning surrounds him, the world waking up outside his window. He feels the weight of the day ahead, the responsibilities that await him. And yet he knows that through this simple act of shining boots, he has taken a moment for himself. He imagines the rhythm of the day ahead, where he will wear his polished boots with pride. He envisions walking down the cobblestone paths, the boots making a soft sound with each step. This sound, the gentle tapping of polished leather against stone, becomes a comforting melody in his mind. The squire stands, placing both boots side by side in front of him. He admires the gleam, the shine, and feels a deep sense of satisfaction. Each boot, a testament to his care, reflects not just his work, but his character. And then, little by little, he prepares to step into the day, grounded by the knowledge that he has honored his commitment to himself and to those around him. Squire, with a final glance, he takes a deep breath, savoring the tranquility of the moment. His heart feels light, ready to embrace the day, as he steers his mind toward the tasks ahead, all while carrying the calm of his morning routine within him. As we gently reflect on the exhaustively detailed and rather mundane history of medieval squire shoe shining protocols, we recall the careful steps involved in polishing each boot to a perfect gleam. We explored the meticulous techniques used by unsung heroes, the squires, who dedicated their time to ensuring footwear was maintained to the highest standard. The soft cloths, the gentle strokes, and the specific order of tasks all contributed to a ritual that was both essential and calming. Imagine a quiet room, softly illuminated by the glow of candlelight, where the world outside fades away, and you too may rest as your body finds comfort in the stillness of the night. If you found peace in this journey through the world of polished footwear, please consider liking, subscribing, or leaving a gentle comment. And remember to turn on loop so the soothing rhythm continues to embrace you.